Hello, boxing lovers. This is HTV. We're going to discuss an issue going on in Ghana boxing right now. And we're going to play some clips and try to dissect and resect the issues. Recently, Nathaniel Attoh of Joy Sports gave an interview to the GBA president, Mr. Abraham Kotei. And it was in regards to a fee that Richard Commey was supposed to pay to the GBA because of his recent fight with Lomachenko in the United States of America. Now, I thought this interview was interesting, but there were some places that I felt like we need to touch on. Before we do that, let's listen to the manager of Richard Commey, Mr. Michael Amoo-Bediako, explaining his part of the story. And then we listen to the interview conducted by Nathaniel Attoh with the GBA president and try to dissect the issues, because this is an ongoing issue. It's been going on for a while, and I think it's about time that we put it to rest. Hopefully this does some justice to it as we move on for the good of Ghana boxing.
In regards to what the GBA wanted to bring in a law or try to ask Richard for a percentage of his purse from his last fight, which Richard is not obligated to. There's no rule or regulation that entitles Richard to pay the GBA any funding, because he's not a resident here, he doesn't live here. He pays his commissions and he pays his taxes and everything he does in the US, as he has done since 2017. He said to me that if that's the case, then he would not allow Richard to fight under the Ghanaian flag.
But does any president of an association in the country has the right to deny someone this nationality?
No.
All right, so basically what you just heard is Mr. Amoo-Bediako's version of the story. He said he told Mr. Kotei that the boxer pays this fee to the state or the country or the commission where he is licensed. And as it stands now, Richard Commey has been licensed in the United States since 2017, and he pays that fee to the commission in the United States. Now, let's listen to where Mr. Kotei is coming from, where he derives this conversation from, what document he derived this conversation from, and why he's asking for this fee to be paid by Richard Commey. Let's listen.
I've got here with me clause 18 of the rule book of the Ghana Boxing Authority, and it is under the headline Guidelines for Foreign Travels. Guidelines for Foreign Travels. I'm going to read it, and hopefully we can get that on your screen for you as well. Boxers licensed by the Ghana Boxing Authority and fighting outside the country, whether under the flag of Ghana or not, are expected to remit a percentage sum of their purse to the authority. Such a percentage amount will be determined by, from time to time by the Ghana Boxing Authority, with effect from 1st January 1996. The payment of this percentage by boxers engaged in local tournaments shall commence, and such will be determined from time to time by the authority. Thank you very much.
All right. So now, before we go to Mr. Kotei, look at what the first line says. A boxer licensed by the GBA. A boxer licensed by the GBA. It's Richard Commey licensed by the GBA. If he is not licensed by the GBA, automatically, this doesn't apply to him. And from what Mr. Amoo-Bediako said, he's not. So then, on what grounds or one document is Mr. Abraham Kotei depending on it and demanding or asking Richard Commey to pay this fee to the GBA? Let's listen to him.
I told Amoo-Bediako about the percentage pairs. You can see it's 1996. Then the chairman, NeeQuaye, I was not part of it. But this is a development fee that most boxers pay. All the boxers pay, with the exception of those who go and fight in US. So we talked to you. We said, if those who fight in US, like Commey, we've spoken to Dogbe too, and Dogbe said he's going to get back to us. If they don't pay the little percentage that they will give to the Ghana Boxing Authority, how then do we develop the sport?
All right, so clearly, for anybody who can read English and anybody who understands, what this document says is that a boxer that is licensed by the GBA. So what I feel like Mr. Kotei should be doing is to be having a conversation with all involved. It shouldn't be a demand. It shouldn't be a threat. We all want Ghana boxing to develop. And this should be a conversation that those that make it, hey, you got some money, you fought Lomachenko, we don't know how much you got, or you fought whoever, you got a couple of thousands of dollars, hundreds and thousands of dollars, come give back and let's do this together to support Ghana boxing. This shouldn't be a threat of you cannot fight under Ghanaian flag. This shouldn't be a threat about you can work in Ghana again with Ghanaian boxers. This should be a conversation because per this document, Richard Commey doesn't have to pay anything to the GBA because he's not licensed under the GBA. And the one thing I found interesting is that the amount is arbitrary. So it seems like this will be determined by whoever is in office in the GBA. This conversation, again, has to be a discussion about how do we help Ghana boxing. It shouldn't be about threats. It shouldn't be about power. It shouldn't be about any of those things that apparently took place between Mr. Kotei and Mr. Amoo-Bediako. It's a sad situation. I hope that the two parties can sit down and talk, and actually not just Mr. Amoo-Bediako and Mr. Kotei, but all Ghanaian stakeholders in boxing can actually come together for the good development of boxing in Ghana. We got some good talents, and I think we should harness them and do it all in harmony. So one other interesting topic that was discussed in this interview with Nathaniel Attoh was the issue of trainers and boxers. Mr. Kotei felt that trainers, especially in Ghana, take boxers from very young age, train them, and when these boxers get up there where they are actually making money, they leave them behind. And in his administration, he was going to make sure this doesn't happen. Let us hear it from his mouth, and then we take it from there.
So in my administration now, I've given forms that all coaches should have contract with their boxers. Because it happens that the manager have the money. I have been the manager all my life. Yeah. You know, I manage Emmanuel Tego and Bukum Banku.
That's true.
So the manager has the money. So I pick the boxer because I have the money and the boxer don't have anything. He listens to me more than the coach. But it is the coach who did the development.
Your body, which is the GBA, will not determine which boxer should go with which trainer, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, the boxer gets to a certain stage, they feel that they want to work with somebody else.
Well, that is also not fair.
All right, so there's a lot to unpack here, but I want to thank first Nathaniel for saying what I think summarizes this question of trainer and boxer relationship. At any point, a boxer or a manager should be able to change a trainer if he feels that he's gotten to a point where he needs to change a trainer, whether the trainer may not be performing or they've got to a certain level where that trainer may not have that technical knowledge. This shouldn't even be up for debate. But to understand where Mr. Kotei is coming from, you have to understand how Ghana boxing, and especially in the development stage where these boxers come from. Usually what happens is that boxers go to gyms, or kids go to gyms, they start training with a trainer, and they start building them up from there. At that point, there is no manager, there is no promoter, and so these trainers become like fathers to these boxers. And then, of course, at some point, they may be discovered by a manager or a promoter, and then they move on from there. What Kotei is saying is that because someone, a trainer, picked the kid up in childhood and trained them to where they are discovered, they should be entitled to something. What contract he's talking about, I do not know. I don't know what it looks like. But I think objectively, that is just not how it works. Because in any sport, you should be able to change a trainer at any point. Now, the conversation that should be had is that boxers should be encouraged to remember where they came from, so that when they start making the big money, they can actually give back or see to it that those that help them that would coming up are taken care of. But this should not be by force. This should not be contractual. This should just be a gesture that the boxer can determine or would determine if they make it up there. What Mr. Kotei is doing is more of making these boxers or these trainers come into a contract that is binding probably to the future. That is not how boxing works. In the real world of boxing, trainers are compensated. Majority of the time is 10% of the boxer's purse, without including anyone who trained the boxer from childhood or whatever. Now, that goes without saying that arrangements could be made between the manager of the boxer or the boxer and the trainer that, hey, in the future, if I do make it, I may give you this percentage of my purse. But again, it's not mandatory. It doesn't happen anywhere. So I don't think what Mr. Kotei is doing actually makes Ghana boxing progressive. I think a regressive mode, and I think that should be stopped. It doesn't work like that anywhere. Trainers are compensated when a boxer makes it with the boxer's purse. It has nothing to do with who trained who or who trained. That should just be a gesture that the boxer should want to do if they do remember how they came up. All right, boxing lovers, I hope we have put this issue to rest. I mean, this issue between manager, boxer, the GBA, particularly the one about the fee of a boxer's purse to the GBA. I hope this has clarified it, and I hope that we learn from it for the good of Ghana. We work together for the upcoming boxers and also just to raise high the flag of Ghana. Look out for more from Ace TV. This is what we do.